Thank you. And thank you everybody for being here. I'm sorry I promised my friend that I would record this since she can't be here. But feel free to ask all of your questions that you have. If you have a question at any time, raise your hand, interrupt me. I like this to be a two-way conversation rather than me talking at people. But I'll start off with who I am. Of course, I am Susanna Kay. I am a home and office organizer, and what that means is that I am there to assist you in reducing clutter, in clearing out not only your physical space, but your mental space. A lot of times we've got some mental clutter going on because of either the time management systems that were not working or the clutter that's around us. So the goal is to create peace, become more efficient, and more productive without actually working harder to do so. Now, I've been in this business since 2008. I started my own business actually in 2008. Before that, I did organize homes for 2 years prior. And I started the niche market of chronic disorganization, ADD, ADHD, and disabilities because I found that that was kind of the area that was lacking. We have fabulous organizers in this Orlando and greater Orlando area. And most of us have our own little specialties. And this was a market that I found a lot of people were asking for more information and that I already had experience with and was passionate about. So while I do the regular home, residential, and the office organization, I also am very passionate about dealing with what is underlying issues. What is going on that created the problem to begin with. Now, I'm not a therapist, but I do offer some coaching, and that's something that is increasing in my business more and more, which there's a difference between therapy and coaching. A therapist focuses on, I heard this quote, a therapist focuses on the trail of tears, the past hurts, the past problems, but a coach focuses on the trail of dreams. We're very forward-thinking. We're not looking at the past and trying to resolve past issues. We're looking at what your dream is, where you want to be, and how we can get you there. And it's a process very driven by you. So you don't follow my dream for you. We figure out what your dream is, and we work on that. And get rid of the clutter and the mind problems that are in the way. Now, I never like to just tell people about myself, because I can show you so much better by teaching a few things that you can take home and use right away. One of the things that I'm working on right now is a book, and it is about using your smartphone in order to help your productivity and reduce the brain clutter, but also in ways that it's not necessarily marketed as. So for example, on my iPhone, they have the photo album. Every smartphone has a photo album. We've got 1 million pictures of the granddaughter, we've got pictures of our thumb, all these different things in there, but you can use it for so much more. Create albums. I have one album that is for my go-to recipes, because it's always when I'm in the store that I decide I want to make my guacamole salsa. Okay, that's great. I can't remember what's in it. And I'm at the store, but I can pull up my photo album. My go-to recipes are right there. And I don't have to carry around the paper form. Another thing that I have in my photo albums, I have one album for my products that I use all the time that are very specific. So I've got a picture of my air filter for my air conditioner at home, because when I'm out, I don't remember what size that is. And I'm not going to climb up on the ladder and pull down the dirty filter to look at the size and then put it back, because now it's going to be a while before I get back. Things like that where it's something very specific, perfect thing to just take a picture of it. You'll always have it on you. Some of the other things that I use my photo album for, I actually have a to-do photo album. And this is, you know, when you're on your phone and you're scrolling through Facebook, you see a fantastic idea, a networking event that you want to go to. For example, Powerful Women. Great idea. But you want to remember to go back to it. You're not at a location where you can write it down. Snap a picture of the screen. If you don't know how to do that, I know that on the iPhone, you hit the home button and the top button at the same time. It'll take a screenshot for you. Save it in your to-do photo album. Then that information is right there for you. And once you've done it, you can delete it. Or if it's no longer important to you, then you can delete it. Because sometimes we have all these great ideas. And then we write them on little slips of paper. And then we have slips of paper everywhere. Post-its here, and on the backs of receipts, and on the back of the presentation paperwork. But then we can't find what's important because it's lost in this flurry of all these little papers. And half of those little papers you're not even that interested in later. You thought about it, not as high of a priority. Perfect thing for electronic organizing. You're not going to clutter it up, it's easier to delete, and it's all in one place. The nice thing about using your smartphone is it's always on you. How many of you sleep with that phone right near you? Yes, the bulk of Americans sleep less than 5 feet away from their phones. I know I sleep about 2 feet away. It's my alarm, it's my reminders. Yes. It tells me when I have to take out my garbage in the morning. So I'll forget. So that's the one thing that you're guaranteed to always have on you. You don't need a pen, you don't have little slips of paper floating around. Those are a few ways that I use the photo album. There are a million more. Another app that I use all the time is called Evernote. Has anybody heard of Evernote? You have? Evernote is fantastic. If you don't have Evernote, I strongly recommend get it. It is a virtual journal. This it syncs with both your desktop, through the internet, on your smartphone, so all of your devices can access this journal. You've got it with you wherever you're at, whatever device you're on. Not only can you write notes in it, but they have notebooks. So it's this folder of notes within it. I have a folder for my marketing and little notes, all of my web pages that I want to post on, the great idea that I got for postcards. Not only can you attach the written notes that you do, but you can also attach pictures. So you could do a screen clipping from the internet. You could save one from your photo album on your phone. If you drive down the road and you're like, there's a fantastic billboard, clip a picture, attach it in marketing after you're done driving on Evernote. And then you've got that saved for you. You can do web links so that interesting URL can be saved right within Evernote. You can attach so many things, move it, delete it, drag it, drop it, move it to a different notebook. And I've got one notebook for my business. I've got one notebook for personal. I've got my books to read list. Fantastic place for it. But it's always on you. It's, again, no more little slips of paper, and they're organized by thought process. So that's another app that I use a whole lot to eliminate my clutter. And it's in the cloud. So if my house got hit by a tornado, at least my notebooks are good. Because they're all up there. One of my last apps that I'm going to tell you about that I use I use this daily, it's called Clear. Clear is my to-do list. This is my Post-it notepad. And I use this, it's got a gradient of colors on each list. So you can sort by priority, and you can see kind of on your heat map of what's important. At the top, you can drag things around on it. But not only do you get one list, but you can have separate lists. My grocery list is on here. I keep my movies to see. I bet there's going to be some documentaries that I see on your list that is going to end up on there. I have not only my to-do today, but I have my things that I'm saving for. My top list is always, what are my top 3 goals that I'm working towards? I've got my big, hairy, audacious goal. I've got my regular goal, and I've got my this week goal. And they're always on there. I can reorder them as I need to. I can mark them complete. It makes this gorgeous little ding. When you complete it, that's the best sound in the world. That means I did something. So it's a great list. It's not very expensive. You do have to pay a little bit for it. Worth every penny.
I don't think it's on Android phones.
Not on Android yet.
Because you posted it on Facebook, and I went right to
Oh, no. Well, get an iPhone. No, I'm just kidding. But that's something I'm sure I'm going to have to research Android and see which ones are the really hot Android to-do lists. Because I know Android is actually kind of bigger than iPhone these days. And I lied. There's actually one more app I think everybody needs. It's called Keyring. I believe it's free. And I believe this is on Android. Keyring, do you know all those annoying little rewards cards that you have when you go to the store? How fat is your wallet just trying to carry these? You have tabs on your Keyring. Keyring, you scan it in. And then when you go to the store, you show them your phone. The barcode is right there. If the barcode won't scan, the number's right there for them to type in. Not only that,
it's card awesome.
Yes, it's a lot like that. And they deliver coupons right to it. So the pet store, not only do I have my rewards card, but it has a little 2 in the corner because there are 2 coupons that I can use in the store that day as well. because they deliver it right through Keyring, which is nice. I also list all of my major cards that I would carry with me. You can do manual entry, which I like. So my healthcare card for my insurance. I have all of that information, my group number, my member number, all of that in one place. I've got my library card on there. I've got one of my clients, I work at her storage unit all the time. Her storage unit access codes are in there. Keyring, fantastic. Worth every penny that you don't have to pay. It's free. But these are a few things that I'm working on. I've got probably about 50 of them. I'm trying to narrow it down to my top 25 for the first version of my book that I'm working on, which will hopefully be out in July. That's in my big goals on Clear. But so watch for that book. But think about whenever you're doing things, whether you're looking around in the store at different products or if you're looking at apps, what can this do that it's not being marketed as? That pie plate, what else could it be? It can hold your moisturizers and perfumes. That over-the-door shoe organizer, what else can it do? It can organize your junk drawer on the back of your garage door. Think outside the box with things. There's so much out there that is inexpensive that can do so much more. This is one of the things that I brain dump into Pinterest, so follow me on Pinterest if you're not already. Also, follow me on Facebook. I know some of you already do, but I try to post a lot of tips. I love my little morning quotes, things like that. I try to keep it coming for people to keep them interested and involved. So, Facebook, Susanna Home Organizer. I'm Susanna K on just about every single site that you can find. I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, all the fun stuff. So please follow me, communicate with me if you ever have an organizing question. I love to brainstorm with people. And if it's a really good question, I love to write an article about it because there's other people out there that have that same question. So that is what I do. If you know of anybody who would like to just find a little bit more peace in their life, they're feeling a little overwhelmed, can't get it all done, have them give me a call. Thanks.
So do you do things like for instance, as I was mentioning earlier, my mother, my little sister, she's always true. I mean, we do have concerns. Is my mother a hoarder?
Right.
So
I hear that a lot.
Yes, but yet in her mind, it's like because for instance, an example, I would make a suggestion. It's like at Christmas, it's like, look, why don't we all get together and we'll all pick a day and we'll go out to Mom's and we'll clean up Mom's outdoor, everything outdoor. And she's like, no, because we'll throw stuff away. And
right.
It was like, well, Mom, we would only throw stuff away that needs to be thrown away. And she's like, no. And so it's so how do you any tips?
And there's a fine line when it comes to hoarding. If she is truly in the hoarding realm, where a lot of times they're kind of dancing the line and they're not quite there, truly in the hoarding realm, there is therapy needed because there's a very serious disease, OCD, going on underneath. But if it's not actually hoarding, but it is causing a serious problem, a lot of times bringing in somebody who's not family, who's that unbiased, non-judgmental, outside observer, is the best help that you can do.
And they'll listen to.
They'll listen to. When you're related to somebody, no matter how much they don't intend to have any form of judgment coming through, it's assumed,
Right.
even when it's not there. So I don't even work with husbands and wives in the same room a lot of times, just because everything you say is taken differently than it is. But having it somebody outside, that helps out a lot. Yeah.
I'm on that ADHD.
Yes.
I've learned over the years compensate for whatever. The one thing that bugs me, and I don't know why, if I have a file system and I put it in a closed file cabinet, I will never touch it.
Yes.
It's just something about it. But if I have it, I have one of those open, Chrome.
Yes.
But that doesn't look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some alternative agreement to it?
And there are a number of different great ways to organize if you are that type of a thinker. And a lot of times, out of sight, out of mind is a big problem for people.
Yeah.
So what I do, I still use the file drawers, but only for archives.
Right.
Only the things that you never need to see again.
Okay.
I use, a lot of times, if you've got projects that you work on, and you've got information coming in frequently for it, magazine holders. Those ones that stand up in the store, those are fantastic for projects because then you can just toss in ideas for the project, and then when you're working on the project, you can bring out the magazine holder and pull the things out.
That's a good idea.
But you aren't because sometimes it's, 3-hole punching into a binder, that's extra work. Trying to file it into a file, extra work. But magazine holders, you just dump, and you can flip them, so you just see the nice tall back. Nobody knows all of the little pieces of paper is in there. Yes, fantastic way. And then just make sure to keep your to-dos that are very important. Have a small tray that's actually on your desk, because if it's on fire to do, out of sight really will be out of mind if you're that type of a thinker. And I know I lean towards that type of
So
thinking.
where would you put the magazine? Not
You
in
can
the
put them.
desk.
No, I have mine. I've got some for my different projects on my bookshelf,
Okay.
and they just look like fantastic thick books.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I know I have on the outside my little labels. I'm like, this one's for the book. This one,
Thank you.
fantastic way. And also with files, this works for everybody. Broad categories. Try not to have a file for every vendor or every idea. Have one file for insurances, and all of your current insurance policies can be in there. New one comes in, the old one goes out. It's a lot easier when you've got 5 choices to file something than if you've got 50 choices. It takes less of your brain's energy. So the broader the categories, the better the filing system.
But could you have subcategories inside that file?
Try not to, because then your brain's still trying to work just as hard. Because you can take a couple extra minutes to look through a file to find what you want within that category, but it's going to save you time in the long run. Otherwise, you're taking an extra minute every time you file something. Yeah.
Yeah, the key is as you just said, it's like when you put the new one in, take the old one out.
Yeah.
It's easy to just put the new one in.
Exactly. There is some habits that habit work. Definitely.
I've got files that are more than 10 years old, just sitting in boxes and stuff. I don't know. I keep saying, I need to go through that. I need to go through that and see if there's anything I need to keep. But I
Well,
just
build
end up
the
with a whole
habit.
bunch of boxes full of stuff.
Exactly. If you build the habit of when you do your taxes, you go through the old files. I build as many self-purging files as possible, like the insurances, one in, one out. Bills, when you hit January of the next year, you pull out January of last year, and you've always got one set of bills for each month. Things that'll purge themselves. But at tax time, the non-purging ones, since I'm already doing something miserable, I'm already in my files, that's when I go ahead and I sort through the old ones really quickly too. Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
Where'd you get that little stand for your phone?
Amazon. Love
It's so
Amazon.
cool.
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon's fantastic because you only buy, usually, most of the time, what you went there for, instead of wandering through a store and buying 5 things on the way.
Right. That's a nifty little thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much, and like I said, any questions at all, feel free. Just give me a
you.
call or email.
Yeah.